Welcome to part 7 of the Tai Chi course. Last week we did the 6th and 7th forms, the golden rooster standing on one leg and the heel kick. And today we'll move on to the 8th form, usually called grass the sparrow's tail. It's a series of 4 separate movements, all as one fluid motion. And of course, we'll talk a little bit about some of the principles of Yang Cheng Fu. Today we'll do the 7th and 8th principle. You might like to just shake out your arms. Just bring your attention to your feet. Pressing down through the toes. Just give yourself a moment to arrive into practice. You might like to take a deep sigh. Just allow yourself to be here. Let's start with a few just little warm-up stretch joints. You might like to just take your weight onto one side and then the other. Maybe a little forward, maybe a little back. Maybe imagining yourself as bamboo in the wind. Exploring every direction, every corner of our feet beneath us. The 7th principle of Yang Cheng Fu is the unity of our upper and our lower body. It believes that all movement starts beneath the feet with solid roots, grounded energy, and then is issued through the legs, controlled by the hips, and then expressed through the hands. So we use Tai Chi to see if we can find a unity through the movement. So everything is this continuous flow of Qi from bottom of the feet all the way up through the body. You might like to work your way up from the toes to the legs to the waist. This feeling of giving yourself direction and then expressing through the hands. And then the 8th principle of Yang Cheng Fu is the unity of our internal and our external. This idea that as we breathe in, our attention comes in. As we sigh out, maybe an offensive move, our breath goes out, our tension goes away. So when we move in harmony, we move every part of our body, our spirit is either defending or moving into an offensive movement, all as one. So you might think of this idea of upper and lower and internal and external as extensions of similar idea, helping us move our Qi. Let's take our hands to our waist. You might roll the waist. Both directions. You might come up straight and roll the shoulders. Both directions. Let's take our arms out wide. Just roll the hands. Small circles. And then we'll take one arm up, one arm down, and just pulse behind. And one more each way. And then letting the arms be heavy, just roll all the way around. And we'll shake out. We're going to warm up with a couple of Qigong forms today, starting with palms towards each other in the center of the body. Let's take a breath in. And then as we sigh out, one palm presses up and one palm pushes down. See if you can get a sense for the energy moving in both directions. And then when the breath comes, inhale back to center. Turning the palms and then sighing out again. And you notice right from the tip of your toes and heels all the way up to the crown of your head, this sense of extension, feeling of both being grounded but also lifting. Just follow the pattern of your breath. Now we'll bring our palms down. Let's interlace the fingers. We're going to take a long breath, lifting up, turn at the heart, press up and look up, and then pause the breath to bring the eyes forward, sigh out, sink down. When the next breath comes, lift up again. And just let each breath come and go. No rushing to the next one. In Taoism and in Qigong, there's this idea that our body represents the country and our monkey mind is like the king of the country, not actually too much power, even though it looks like it's the boss. And then our organs, our kidneys, our heart, our liver, our lungs, etc., are the government or the ministers of the government. And then the policy of the government is the breath. So just follow an in-breath, follow an out-breath. Is your government wise? And then, of course, the population or the people of our country is the chi that runs through. We all know when we feel a little agitated or calm or distracted or restless, joyful. All these emotions originate from the flow of our chi. When we bring our body into harmony and good health, our chi is flowing and strong. And when our chi gets blocked or feels a little stagnant, slow, or maybe agitated, then we're usually out of balance and maybe not so healthy, not so well. We use these practices to remind ourselves, come back into balance, drawing the palms back to the belly. Give yourself a few moments just to notice the feeling. All right, so let's start with our grasp the sparrow's tail movement. You're very welcome just to mirror me. I'm going to shift my weight onto one side. Take my empty step. So the direction I'll be stepping in, that leg becomes the empty leg. Lower hand is going to move in that direction. Upper hand is at the heart. Lower hand is at the dantian, this center of gravity in our body. See if you can take all your attention underneath that standing leg. So you want the back of the knee to be a little soft. Notice if you're holding your breath or holding any tension in the body. Can you sink down a little? Really feel that grounding. Take a breath or two. When you're ready, we're going to float out the bent leg, heel, and then toe. When the whole foot is on the ground, we're going to shift our weight forward. This arm is going to lift up, so we're warding off. This is the first part. Notice this second hand has come down by the dantian. as I shift weight into the front foot. Second part of the movement is to roll back. So we're going to shift our weight as we shift back to the other leg, draw the palms, yin and yang, turn the waist. And when you can't turn the hips anymore, our palm is going to meet the inner wrist of the front hand as we shift our weight back. This is our press. Keep going, both hands, palms down. Now we roll back, shift our weight again, draw the energy into the body. We're going to shift back and push. Notice that I'm not reaching out, just shifting my weight forward, holding the energy in. Now we're going to lean back, lift the toes, turn the foot in a little pigeon toe, shift my weight back to the other side. So now we're setting up for exactly the same movement on the other side of the body. Take a breath. See if you can find those principles of Tai Chi we've been talking about, the crown of the head lifting, the chest sinking, the back wide expanded, shoulders and elbows heavy, no tension in the shoulders, no tension in the elbows. All the weight on one leg. Whenever you're ready, step out, heel, toe. We raise the arms, still no tension in the shoulder, elbow, reach, ward off. Now yield, drop into the back, turn the waist. Heel of palm meets inner wrist. We press. Lean back, roll back. You might even lift the toes. And when you're ready, we push. Shift your weight, lift the toes. Let's see if we can start getting a little bit of momentum here. Forwarding the ball again. Moving in this sense of continuous flow. Take your time. Listen to the body. Let's just do one more each side. And we'll come back to the center and maybe shake it out. Okay, let's talk about some common mistakes people make doing grass the sparrow's tail. Firstly, I think when you step out, this shoulder has to sink down. A lot of people tend to have the elbow high or the shoulder high. Just relax into it. You're holding your shape. You're protecting the body. When we come back, we turn, And we yield so that all the weight is onto this back leg. So just notice that sense of leaning back into it rather than just turning and losing balance. So you want to be yielding, coming into yin, and then turning. And then when our press comes, we're pushing back and hip is turning, heel at the back is turning. So we're holding our space. Take the palms out and then we're yielding again. Notice this feeling of retreat and then pushing. Notice not extending out, not reaching out, not losing balance. Let's try all that again. Let's try on the other side. So start with our empty step. Take a breath, sink your energy down. You might like to remember those principles of Yang Cheng Fu, the sixth principle. Last week, harmonizing our mind over force, or choosing mind over force. And today we've talked about the combining lower and upper. So every movement starts beneath the feet, issued through the legs, controlled by the waist, expressed through the hands. When you're ready, step out. Heel, toe, we're shifting the weight. Yielding, rolling back. Press. Roll back. And push. Let's try that again. Start on your empty step. Take a breath. When you're ready, stepping out. And we'll come back to the center. Maybe a little shake out. Bring the palms onto the body. Just take a moment. Notice how you feel. So as we're doing each week, we might do some revision now. We're doing our full 10 forms, very, very near the end. We're 8 forms into it. And we'll start palms down by the side, feet together. Just bring your attention inwards. Nowhere else I need to be right now. Nothing else I need to be doing. Sense of sinking, you might take a sigh. When you're ready, float the weight over. Lift the palms. Now we repulse the monkey. Lift your weight, brushing knee and pushing. Back heel extends. Take your time, no rushing. Noticing this sense of weight coming from one side to the other. Parting the horse's mane. And then cloud hands. Just notice the waist turning. Every movement controlled by the waist. Get your weight back. We're going to take our golden rooster. And then our heel kick. And then we come to today's practice. I'll grasp the sparrow's tail. And then on the other side. And we'll come back to the center. And had a few people asking about doing the practice turning around. So I will turn around, best view, of course. And let's try that whole sequence again. Bring your attention inwards. This time I'll do it without any cues, just in silence. See if you can notice the flow of your own body. Where is my attention right now? Can I bring it back into the movement? Teaching ourselves action with simplicity. When you're ready. Shake it out a little bit. Arms back on the body. You might like to bring your attention right underneath the palms. Just feel the next breath come and go. How can we live a little bit more effortlessly, a little bit more efficiently? This is what Tai Chi teaches us. We all think we know how to live, but often our habits, our choices take us in the wrong direction, invite ill health or imbalance into our life. We use this practice as a reset, a way to come back into balance in harmony with the world around us. Let's bring our palms together. You might even like to bring the hands up to the face. And when you're ready, palms at heart center, let's bow to each other.